Hi guys, welcome back to Ash Talks Basketball, and today we're doing part 2 of the most interesting player to watch this season from every NBA team. So without further ado, let's get started. Just a quick interruption saying that Ash Talks Basketball now has a Discord server. So if you want a non-toxic place where you can talk about the NBA, you can join now. There will be a link in the description. And if you have any video ideas, you can just join and text them to me on that channel. And if you just want to give me a video idea and you don't really want to join, just tell me in the comments. And if it's not too hard or crazy, I'll do it and I'll give you a shout out. For the Oklahoma City Thunder, I chose Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I chose him because it's going to be interesting on what he does this season. He might leave and get annoyed at how slowly the rebuild's going, or he stays and possibly pushes the Thunder into a play-in. It's going to be really interesting for what the Thunder are going to do this season, and hopefully I'll be able to watch some games of them. For Portland, I chose Damian Lillard. I'm also going to be watching what happens with trade talks with him. If he demands a trade, he's said a lot about him wanting to win in Portland, wanting him to stay in Portland. But bad news, Dame, you're not winning any time in Portland, anytime you're still in the NBA. So if he wants to win more than he wants to stay with Portland, we're gonna have to see, and how well he goes with injuries and stuff, and how his season's going to play out. That's going to be really fun to watch. And as always, Dame's really fun to watch. Sacramento Kings, I chose De'Aaron Fox. If the Kings make the play-in, I think the reason is De'Aaron Fox takes that jump they really need. Domantas Sabonis is good, but the improvement has to come from De'Aaron Fox. So if they're going to win games, I think De'Aaron Fox is going to have to be a big part of it. The most interesting player on the Utah Jazz is nobody. But if I have to choose, I'll go Ochai Agbaji. He was the 14th pick in the 2023 NBA draft, and he'll probably get a pretty good opportunity because there's nobody on the Utah Jazz anymore. Nobody good. And I hope he has a pretty good season because that gives him a big opportunity to do well, and he could be one of the best players on the Jazz if they trade away enough people. The most interesting player on the Orlando Magic is Paolo Banchero. I really wanted to pick Franz Wagner because I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do and how he will improve. But Paolo Banchero, it was the best first pick in the NBA draft, so you kind of have to pick him. For the New York Knicks, I chose Jalen Brunson. He'll be stepping into a bigger role with the New York Knicks, and he's just got traded. He's going to be relied on, and there's a lot of expectations on him, and hopefully he can step out of his shell, not kind of overshadowed by Luka, and really be the best as he can be. The most interesting player on the New Orleans Pelicans is obviously Zion. Coming back from a bucket load of injuries, first-round pick, a lot of pressure on him, and a 28-point season in his rookie season, which was crazy. I have a lot of faith in him, and if it all goes well, New Orleans could be a top 4 in the East. For the San Antonio Spurs, I picked Jeremy Sochan. He was the 8th pick in the NBA draft, I think, and he's going to get a big role because there's not much good coming out of San Antonio this season except tanking. Even Greg Popovich said it, and he got fined a lot. The most interesting player for the Clippers, I chose Kawhi Leonard. I think, like a lot of people on this list, it's just that he's coming back from injury and he really has to prove himself. And if all goes well, I think they could be really good and they'll be a strong playoff team. I think the only team that's going to give them problems are Warriors or maybe Denver if they start on a roll in the playoffs. For the Memphis Grizzlies, I chose Ja Morant for one simple reason. He needs to prove that last year wasn't a fluke. that they didn't just get a lucky season and they get eliminated in the second round of the playoffs, and that they're not going to be a play-in team this year. And he needs to prove that. And if they don't prove that, that's going to put the precedent down for Ja Morant, and he's going to lose in value. Not his MVP talks will go down the drain. He won't be regarded as that good of a player anymore, and he will just be regarded as a guard that won once and never did it again. He really needs to prove himself this season, and I believe that he will. For the Phoenix Suns, I chose DeAndre Ayton. Didn't talk to his coach for 3 months. Apparently, they've repaired their relationship. There was a lot of questions because of course, that Game 7, the drama around the Phoenix Suns, DeAndre Ayton just kind of ghosting the team. And we'll see what happens if he gets traded or not. Apparently, he's repaired his relationship with Monty Williams. But to be fair, they could just be saying that for the press. I'm excited to see what they do with him with the rest of the season. And hopefully the Phoenix Suns do well for all the Phoenix Suns fans out there. For the Denver Nuggets, I chose Michael Porter Jr. I chose him because he's coming back from a bucket load of injuries like Zion and Kawhi Leonard, and he really needs to prove himself. If he goes really well along with Jamal Murray, and Nikola Jokic, the reigning MVP, that team could be dangerous and possibly be meeting Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference Finals. I know Milwaukee's not guaranteed to make it, but honestly, who's stopping them? That's easily my pick. Probably Milwaukee versus Warriors or Milwaukee versus Denver. For the Indiana Pacers, I chose Benedict Mathurin. He was the 5th pick in the NBA draft, and I really liked this pick for the Indiana Pacers. Benedict Mathurin really is a defensive juggernaut, and that will be a great asset to a rebuilding Pacers team. For the Charlotte Hornets, I chose LaMelo Ball. With the Miles Bridges situation ending and him ultimately having to leave the Hornets, that puts a lot of pressure on LaMelo Ball. And if the Hornets are going to even make the play-in, he's going to have to go crazy, and that's going to be really fun to watch. For the Minnesota Timberwolves, I chose Rudy Gobert. This is Rudy's chance to prove that he is not a playoff failure, that he can play in the playoffs and not really just kind of get outdone by the players going harder. And if he does that, that cements him as a very valuable player. And if he can get the Wolves past first round, I'll be impressed. Thanks for watching the video, and if you want to give me any feedback and not join the Discord, link in the description, you can just comment it. And with that being said, thanks for watching the video and have a nice day.